This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's get you up to Nashville and Nissan Stadium. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw on second down to Stafford. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point: get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Stays on his feet. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Mariota. Caught right side, it's Snead. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 50, it's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 catches, 129 yards, and he threw a touchdown in there for good measure.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Stafford on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Orleans Darkwa with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Give the tackle to Tease Tabor that time. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Off play action to Henry. Here's Mariota, eluding the pressure right. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the run, Darkwa. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So on the big tight end, still first down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line to center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, Mariota. Here it comes, and he lost the football. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on up to 6.
That's a lot of points. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now we'll give him to Taylor. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. First down, Mariota. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Mariota hands to Henry. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On third down, it's Taylor, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So, kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Well, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop. The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Play action. Stafford. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mode.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. On first down, Stafford here. And Jones has it over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards for number 11. First down now, but that clock rolling. They go play action here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Sims. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. His throw caught at about the 5. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. A nice little juke. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Titans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Mariota. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And now the Titans defense gets set to go again. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, which, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
To throw Mariota. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Here's Darkwa. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run again now with Darkwa. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The first down carry here for Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Hankins hit on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he's got his man on the out route. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Off the play fake, Mariota. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Mariota. He's got his man on the crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Mariota gives to Henry. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
2nd down, Mariota steps away to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
They'll try to run for the 1st with Henry. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now
down.
your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Seth DeValve, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans can have the lead if they hit the extra point. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Following the interception here, Mariota. Brought in left side by Snead. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
One. Switch.
Play action now. Mariota. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Keep it rolling.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. The Titans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Throwing is Mariota. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff to Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Titans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Like 20. Easy.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a 1st down.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those, like, mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And, you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your
concrete.
Toughness. That explains your toughness right there, because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
Solid gain of 27. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now they'll run it on the toss. Shedding the tackle. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Mariota. Flush to his right. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. Marcus Mariota. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 23 yards on the play.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Stafford now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Over the middle complete. That's Jones. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now Darkwa. And he will be stopped here for no gain, and then it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sims. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He's back to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Daquan Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. If he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the 1st half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Again to Henry. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. As they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. The Titans go victory formation down to a knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Tennessee, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the L.A. Chargers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks.